Is it live? Yeah, we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. I hope you're all doing well and safe. I hope you're all in good spirits. I hope you're all in good health. Fundamentally, sorry, if you're listening to this, you have got your health or you've at least got your life. So it is well, it is, in it. Anything's positive from there, everything's up from there. I hope you're all enjoying your weekend. It's 11:21 over here in the UK. Admittedly, people, I had no plans to stream today. I thought it was a rare day off for Deluded. I thought we go again tomorrow. We speak about Arsenal, Newcastle. Monday we go on, and then it's always a jam-packed week for me. But I thought today it's just a football manager thing. And to be fair, in football manager, I'm trying to sell Torreira, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe. Well, Lacazette's gone to Juventus. I'm trying to get rid of Bear Man. But then I was reading The Athletic, and I'm sure you've all come across David Ornstein has reported that Arsenal have come to an agreement with Mesut Ozil in relation to the termination of his contract. We're going to get into that in a second, people, but I'm conscious of we're a minute in. I see 38 of you already here. We're going to get into it. Please make sure you hit the like button. Twitch gang, I see you in the building. Lemon, I see you. Appreciate that each and every time. Deluded Gooner 187 for those of you on Twitch. And Twitch is actually better from what you lot say based on the notifications. We're going to crack on in a sec, but let me show you lot in the comments some love, because I was seeing a few of you in here from early and it doesn't feel right to completely ignore you. Thank you very much, Yohan. Like he said, slap the like button. I appreciate all the members. Lyle, I respect you as well, man. Really appreciate you. You've said some very positive comments via Twitter that have kept me going when times have been tough, so I appreciate you. Milan is saying thank God he can finally leave. Omar, big up yourself. Finally it's over. Big up Sandro. He said if you're here early, smash the like. Ari saying it wasn't for football reasons either. To be honest, we'll never know. I do think a part of it is football reasons, but we all know it's more than that. It was Ozil versus the board. They tried to get him to terminate his deal last year. There's obviously been the contract stuff, and I feel we need to hear the truth. And I hope with Mesut Ozil actually leaving, actually keeping it out, keeping it moving, we might get the truth one day. Because again, I don't feel any side is covered in glory. And I personally don't feel you can pick a side. I feel there's, Ozil's got bare lover boy fans. They're going to defend him and not critique him. Obviously, there's bare people that are anti-Mesut Ozil. So I do think there's many different ways of looking at it and things like that. On a footballing basis, I personally feel Mesut Ozil was a terrific footballer. Mercurial passer, lovely brains, eyes in the back of his head, fantastic footballer and a great player to play for Arsenal. I did think he was a bit comfortable. I don't think he adapted. I don't think he pushed himself enough. I do think at times he did. I do think he had better games. I do think he was a better player than people give him credit for. Like, there's numerous big games he's played, but I don't think he's just ultimately not cut the mustard. I did think when we brought him into the team, when we did buy him, I do think we didn't build around him in the same way Alexis and Santi as well. We didn't build around them. It's like, ironically, now we've got a Partey, we need a pivot. We've got all the not that we have all the areas, but now you can say we need a creative mid and he's not there. Something has had to have happened. They've tried to move him on. Arteta's been thrown into it, because as you lot saw, Arteta was using him the minute he came to the club. Go and look at the language he was using in relation to Ozil. Then after, what was it, March last year, after the break, something has to have happened. And I think personally, nobody's covered themselves with any glory. I think Ozil is very smart, how he uses the Twitter, how he riles up the fans and things like that and does the woe is me. I think that somebody at this club is doing him dirty, because, again, I think it was quite disgraceful that we heard that 3 players took a wage cut. Why was it only Mesut Ozil's name that's mentioned? There's rumours around Socrates and things like that. I just think it's a problem. I feel ultimately at Arsenal Football Club, people have never really understood Mesut Ozil. He's never going to be a guy that it's a bit like Pogba at United for different reasons, but he's never going to be a guy that's going to slap his chest, fly into mad tackles. He's a bit of a moaner. He's a bit of a mercurial guy. You have to take him for what he is. Now, he does have to adapt, but I think many people judged him on principles that he wasn't about. For me, fundamentally, it's sad that it's gone this way. I don't like any footballer, regardless. I'm not a fan of Mustafi, Xhaka, and all these guys. I wouldn't like them to leave in the manner they're leaving. For me, someone that has won 3 FA Cups at this football club, as much as we get on to Ozil, I think it says a lot about our club that we've alienated him, that we've kind of ostracized him, and he's not been allowed to say goodbye to the fans, really. A lot is made about the man's contract. He never put a gun to no one's head for that 350k. He leveraged Arsenal's desperation because we couldn't let Alexis and him leave at the same time. That being said, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Maybe it was best to just let them all depart. Personally, I'm happy that we've found an agreement. I'm not a fan of the PR team that Ozil has and all the nonsense. I'm not a fan of what the club is doing. I'm tired personally of the drama. I just want to speak about Arsenal Football Club, about footballing matters, whether we're doing it on or off the field. Too often than not, it's Ozil, it's the Saliba business now. You know, it was Torreira, it was Guendouzi. If it's not bust, it's Ceballos versus Luis. There's fights, there's bust ups, there's transfer dramas, anything, a lot of things that just distract away from actually playing football and things like that. And for me, I feel the last 3 years in particular, it's become clear that Mesut Ozil is still a good player, but he needs to keep it moving, people, you know. And again, one thing I'll give Ozil again, I think on one hand it's comfortable here. Teams would push you, you don't want to leave, but on another, and that's why you're staying. But on another hand, when players want to leave and they're forced to stay at a football club, we always draw them out. But at the same time, when a man says he wants to stay, show nothing but love, you know, despite the fact that he's been marginalized, still continues to train well, for whatever you say about him, because that's all the language that comes out, and I'm telling you that for a fact without revealing certain things. It is a bit upsetting, but for what it is, I'm just, you know, Ozil's not bigger than Arsenal. I've seen Thierry Henry leave. I don't really care for Mesut Ozil like that. I think he was a terrific footballer and things like that. It just, I do think it's not a failure, but it just hasn't happened. And like Marcel's saying, call us the drama club. It's just unnecessary. So with me, I'm happy to see Mesut Ozil leave, because Mesut Ozil has played no part this season, people. No part in us this season. Big up yourself, Relly Ren, as well. My guy. Go and check him out on Spotify. One of the best rappers out there. But like I've got to say, for me, Mesut Ozil did not play towards the back end of last season. He has not played any part this season. And for obvious reasons, it's you know, it's going to be a thing where it's an elephant in the room. There's always, with every game that Smith Rowe plays or we score a lot of goals and create, we don't need Mesut Ozil. He's not involved. He's all of this. Anytime we struggle, like maybe last game, could you have utilized Ozil? Personally, I feel, without knowing all the incidences, just by having, I think we could have afforded ourselves the luxury of having Ozil on the bench and all of these things, like Lundberg had, like Arteta had initially, like Emre. But it is what it is, people. Like Jack has said, it's time to leave. You know, we can't rely on past glories. You know, Mesut Ozil, again, he has my praise. He's been here for 7.5 years. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It feels wrong to say that, but what, 7.5 years, 3 FA Cups. You know, I'm sure he spent comfortable in London. You've definitely seen his marketing and his, you know, all the other things that go to with Mesut Ozil's brand have definitely been benefited. So it is what it is. I'm just happy to see it's drama ended, really and truly. And again, you know, on one hand, I do think Ozil has to hold his hands up as well, because, you know, the only guy he didn't have beef with was Arsene Wenger. And, you know, Wenger, I do think Wenger knew how to handle you. He knew, you know, you was a mercurial talent. We know Wenger's one of the beautiful sort of guys in the game. He looks at it from that way. But I just feel, you know, the other guys, you are the common denominator. I feel Arteta's thing is the writing's been on the wall with Mesut Ozil. I think they've said, you know what, Arteta, I hear what you're saying about him, but if you want to move forward with the club and bring in people, you need to somehow get this man out. We're going to do this. So you can either be with us or against us. You know, Arteta has to pick himself, sort of thing, you know. So I think it's that, but Ozil has to ask himself, because again, you know, there's been several managers and it started off well or whatever, but it's not worked out. So he needs to ask himself that question. But, you know, Mesut, you played with integrity. For me, it is what it is. But for those of you who aren't up to date, or you're just coming into this live stream, let me change the screen for you guys, or better yet, share the screen. Let me zoom in. I personally thought I zoomed in enough for you guys, but let's go to 200, courtesy of The Athletic. Mesut Ozil and Arsenal and Mesut Ozil have reached an agreement in principle to terminate his contract, David Ornstein can reveal. The 32-year-old is expected to travel this weekend to complete a move to Fenerbahce after a deal was agreed with the Turkish club. Now, there was a lot of uncertainty, not that he was leaving, but we didn't know if he was going to go on loan and then they were going to, you know, pay his wages and then pick him up. We don't know if he was agreeing a move in the summer. We didn't have any clarity. Clearly, you know, for any, this is a lengthy operation for Fenerbahce, for Arsenal and everybody included. If I'm Mesut Ozil, I'm not even going to sit here and cap people. And let's be real, at 32 years of age, I'm entitled to every penny. I'm not busting out without that 7 million. So again, this tells me that Arsenal and Mesut, you know, you could say on one hand, Ozil has foregone some of the money related to him, but they've come to an agreement. Maybe they've said, you know what, you can't have 7, but we'll give you 5 or 4. Ozil said, you know what, the money I'm going to make in Turkey based on, you know, my marketing and all these things, I'm going to make it back. But I personally wouldn't be leaving that on the floor because, you know, he's entitled to however much is left for his contract, people. Like I said, 7 million between now and the end of the season. There's also a loyalty bonus, and there's probably more figures around that deal than we know. Arsenal have tried to get him off. We tried this last year. For whatever reason, it didn't work. The man dug his heels in. He's lost the battle now and he's conceded. He needs to keep it moving. So we've taken the hit. We've paid up his contract. You know, hopefully we don't make these mistakes again. You know, getting into a situation where at the time your two best players in Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez contracts are running out. Need to be a bit more proactive. You know, maybe with that, and obviously Mkhitaryan, and you know we could go below. We've mismanaged wages. Hopefully this can mark an end of mismanaging contract lengths and money you're paying a week. I'm not one to talk about money and things, but again, I care about my club, and if we haven't really got any cash to do anything, we struggle in that regard. So again, I'm happy to see an agreement's been reached. The first thing that came to me is clearly Arsenal have paid him up. Like Maz has said, bro, man's got the direct debit, it's getting paid. I can't lie, I'm not busting out without that money. You know, I'll sit on my hand. I hear what people are saying about playing football, but Mesut Ozil's retired from international football and all of these things, so there's no reason for him really to push the move. If you're not giving me my cash, I'm not leaving. So there's been an agreement over there. So for him, you know, and it's gone on to say the 32-year-old is expected to travel this weekend to complete a move to Fenerbahce after a deal was agreed with the club. So clearly he's agreed personal terms with Fenerbahce a long time ago, terms of the contract, duration of the contract, and the rest of it. But it came down to, are Arsenal and Fenerbahce gonna either, you know, it probably started off as a loan business, you know, you can take him on loan, you got to give us a loan fee and you've got to pay some of his wages. You know, Fenerbahce have probably said F that, he's a free transfer. Arsenal have probably said F that because we're already paying for a man that isn't playing, we're going to pay even more. So we've bit the bullet. He's allowed to probably agree a free transfer to Turkey, play some part of this season, I'm very cautious of these words, but be somewhat worshipped by fans and feel loved again and all of these sort of things. And for us, it is what it is. And for me, this is where I'm looking at the club now, because really it doesn't make sense because Mesut Ozil has played no part this season. But for me, I know there was a lot of, you know how fans are. Fans get a bit excited, and the minute Smith Rowe is playing well, they say we don't need to sign Aouar, we don't need an 8.5, we don't need a 10, we don't need this and that because Smith Rowe is playing well. Failing to understand, as you lot already know, because you're subscribed to me, so you understand football, people. You know, it's a squad game. Smith Rowe's a quality player, but what happens when he's not at it? What happens when he's having a bad game? So for me, we've needed creativity anyways. This is obviously gonna, now that Mesut's gone and there's not that luxury of what Arteta didn't rule out is in terms of registering him in the squad. We need to sign a creative man. For me, I would like an 8.5, a number 8 who is creative. I feel we should move from the traditional 10. I get it. It makes sense. You know, I'm not, if we can find a wavy, traditional poetry emotion 10, then I'm down for it. But I feel that's kind of left it. I think the 10s you get now are these Kevin De Bruyne's and things like that. You know, the closest off the top of my head I can find to a traditional someone I would describe as a 10, and he plays all about the place, off the top of my head, is Phil Foden, and you've got no chance on that. Rather than trying to beg Arteta to call Pep Guardiola and say give us him on loan, and that's a myth, people. So it is what it is. It's gone on to say Ozil was scheduled to earn around 7 million between now and the end of his contract in June. A deal has been reached in principle, however, for an early termination. So again, terminate the man's contract, give him whatever money is meant for him, and we keep it moving. Now, freeing up Ozil's funds, hopefully this can mean that we can bring in a creative man now, because we all know we're probably going to see more movement towards the last 2 weeks of January, because we've tried to move players on. We've found a home temporarily for Saliba. We hope Kolasinac can play his way into Schalke, buying him permanently or alerting other clubs. Again, Mustafi is going to stay now. Hopefully there's an offer for him, but Mustafi's going to stay based on what Arteta is saying. You know, the Socrateses, the David Luizes, you know, we need to clear up the wage bill. And by God's grace, come the summer, I don't think we're going to get out all of the players, but we need to make decisions on such people. So it is what it is, you know. Farewell to Mesut Ozil. Apologies, people. I've actually missed out somebody. I'm going to make a next point in a sec. But, you know, whatever it is, you know, at the end of the day, the man's been here for 7.5 years. He's won 3 FA Cups. I don't think he's been as bad as man make out. I'm not sad to see him go, but I do think he was a good player. You know, he's played well against a couple of times against the Chelseas, the Uniteds, the Cities, the Liverpools. You know, I never, you know, when we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, people forget this man was sprinting back to tackle Hazard. I do think he didn't turn it up enough, but I do think at times when he was, people didn't give him credit. Like you said, like we all know, with Mesut Ozil, he's either the best thing since sliced bread or he's the worst footballer you've ever set eyes on. You know, he can love you. You know, you can love him or hate him. He's a bit like Marmite. There's very few balance, and judging by some of you lot's comments, you're kind of saying that. Obviously, there were. I don't want to make this a political thing, but there was obviously the China things and whatnot. Maybe Ozil's died a martyr of that, because again, you know, Arsenal, the minute you get onto China, Ozil is making you lot lose funds. So maybe that's a reason. So again, the main thing for me is we found compensation for him with his contract. That it is what it is. We keep it moving. And for me, it continues, you know. I think it said, an article said, we stand to save around 600k a week if the Mesut Ozils and these names keep it moving. So Ozil's the first domino to fall. Hopefully, you know, again, David Luiz for this season or to the end of this season, do your thing for us. But the David Luiz's, the Mustafis, the Socrates, come, you know, September, August next year, these lot shouldn't be part of it, people. Obviously, we probably stand to lose Balogun as well as Kiddo Taylor Hart as well in the academy. And again, we need to right our wrongs as a club now. We're playing catch up. For me, what annoys me about Arsenal Football Club is if we claim to be self-financing and we need to watch our pennies, we need to make sure that you know, when we buy players, they actually bang. You know, again, I like Lacazette. He's been a good player, but is it the Lacazette we thought we was getting? You know, which we could do something like Aubameyang. Maybe if Lacazette is scoring, but maybe if Lacazette was the striker to the caliber of Aubameyang in terms of goal scoring, we don't bring in Aubameyang, or there's less pressure on one man scoring goals. So you've had him. Pepe is Pepe. I'm not going to get into it, but Pepe, you know, the Xhakas, the Mustafis, you know, it's these sort of things there. The big money signings, sometimes the free transfers. Apologies. Yeah, man. If he won 4, did he win 4? I can definitely think of 3 off the top of my head. What, 2014, 2015, the Chelsea one. I'm sure he wasn't involved in the last one we just won, but fair play if he actually has 4. I might be missing one out. But like I was saying, for me, it's also again, yeah, apologies. Yeah, so he did. I swear, does he technically get one? Did he play in the FA Cup at any point? So yeah, he's got 4 FA Cups. So apologies for that, people. I didn't think he got one because he was kind of alienated towards the end. But if he was technically ran a medal, then fair play. But either way, for me, it's big money signings that we've mismanaged. It's free transfers, the Mkhitaryan's, the Kalajinac's, who have proved very costly for this club. It's the contracts, it's the selling of players. You know, again, if we're meant to be self-financing young players, we never got no real P's for Gnabry. We never got nothing for Josh De Silva. We never got nothing for Yunus Musa. Musa's one's a bit different because he wanted to leave the club. The club did everything and he kept it moving in line with these young players. So it is what it is in that regards, people. So I hope, you know, we can now again try and right these wrongs. We can learn our lessons with giving lengthy contracts, with overpaying, with allowing ourselves to be held to ransom and things like that, because we are playing catch up. Because again, only time will tell if we get all of these, you know, if we're able to really get want away players gone. Hopefully these guys are gone, you know, David Luiz and Mustafi. Arteta hasn't ruled it out, a contract extension for him. Mustafi, again, he keeps talking about Mustafi, and there was a contract extension on the table for Mustafi. So hopefully that's not the case. For me, contracts in 2022 are now on the agenda. Now, Lacazette, they've said at the end of the season. Now, if Lacazette, and again, ifs and buts, if I was faster, I might be a footballer. If I was quick, if I could box properly, I'd be a boxer. Big up marksman boxing and fitness. I see you in the comments, my guy. Appreciate you as well. You're the one reason I felt of that analogy. But you know, I think it's quite telling that the club is saying that end of the season for Lacazette. So if he was to bag 20 goals or stuff, again, that'll get the conversation speaking. Some man might say, oh, but what happened with Aubameyang? Do we really want to take that risk? I think it's quite telling. I think it's quite telling in Eddie Nketiah's case as well, that allegedly we're waiting to the end of the season. Again, his form could tip the balance. There's a lot of there's a lot of speculation in relation to Balogun. If Balogun goes, you keep Eddie. Eddie could be sold. That could tip Balogun to stay. Kolasinac, again, we're hoping he puts himself in the shop window, being contracted until 2022 and going on loan. And I think the club, similar case with Matteo Guendouzi. There was talk before the whole madness happened with Guendouzi of going on loan. Of signing a new deal before the whole loan business and all of these sort of things. Let me put 3/4 because I don't want to confuse you lot. So again, we hope that can put him in there. And Guendouzi, I hope he comes back to the club, but I think we've made our bed. So again, let's sort out this mess. El Nene played good for about 3 minutes. And man was saying sign a new deal. So these lot contracts need to be decided over these lot, because we're going to go into the same next year with the same BS speculation. So we need to make a decision. For me, again, I'm very careful, because again, let's be real. Yeah, if we look at this Arsenal team, in principle, if it was FIFA or Football Manager, you let Bearman go. You know, it doesn't really matter. I want to start from scratch. I want to default and things like that. But at the same time, I'm wary of just letting 11, 12 players go. Again, the squad is poor. The recruitment has been poor. We're overpaying. We're not scouting good enough, because the players, you can see it, people. Very few of our players are banging right now. For every Tierney, there's a million duds. Do you get it? When you sign Tierney, historically, Aubameyang, they're two good signings of the Emirates era. I think Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez are up there as well, but Ozil's one's a bit iffy. I'd say definitely Alexis, Tierney, Aubameyang. But again, I can't really, for every one of them, there's bare failures, people. So we need to make a decision. Again, personally, I understand. I actually see reasons to give a Lacazette a new deal, potentially let him run it down. If we can, if we're going to scout for another striker, Kolasinac needs to go, and a backup left back is potentially needed, as I have been saying, like you're seeing with speculation over Tierney and his fitness. Obviously, I'd like Guendouzi to stay, but it is what it is. And Eddie Nketiah, homegrown, he might have to stay, but him, these three, it's quite peak for them, really. And again, these two are contracted until 2023, people. And I forgot to mention, you've got Callum Chambers. Big up yourself, gent, next door as well. There's Callum Chambers, I believe, who's contracted until 2022 as well. I could be wrong. But again, decisions need to be made. Again, we're not going to get mad fees for these players, but you would imagine, Chambers, can you get a 10, 15? I would hope 20, but realistically, can you get a 10, 15? Can you get a 10 or so minimum for El Nene? Eddie Nketiah, I'm not going to lie, with that English premium, I'm looking for 15 to 20 plus a sell-on fee, but at the same time, I can't lie, you got to be smoking if you're spending that on Eddie Nketiah. You're not going to get the fee I expect for Guendouzi, so let's just make a profit. Bro, we got him for free and it's been costly. I'll accept anything, really. Lacazette, again, we're not making 52 million on Lacazette. So again, can you get, I would say 30. I wouldn't spend 30 on Lacazette, but can you get something, Can you get something? And then you've got the people who are contracted until 2023. Now, again, I don't know this for facts, but I'm pretty sure it's Lucas Torreira, who Arteta said he spoke to him about his loan spell. He might have a future at the club, but I think he's gone. And then you've got Maitland-Niles, and he brings me on to my next topic. It's like, would you sell Maitland-Niles? Because on one hand, I say yes, I say no. I say yes because, really, I have to, and it's mainly on Arteta again. I don't think Maitland-Niles is the best thing since sliced bread. I do think he could lock down that fullback role. I do think he could play midfield, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of gone away from Maitland-Niles playing midfield for us. I don't think he's got it. I think he's got an engine. I don't think he's good enough on the ball. I think he's a bit lazy in that regards. Obviously, he could prove me wrong. He could go somewhere and do it. I think fullback, at least for you at this club, that's your thing, innit? But I understand why people might want to sell him. Me personally, I'd probably get rid of him. On one hand, I'd understand selling him. You've begged man to stay. He's basically not playing. He's now an England international. Keep it moving. Bellerin's your boyfriend. You're not, Tierney's obviously a better left back than him. You're not going to use him in midfield for whatever reason. So I understand selling him. There's he's an England international now. You probably could have got 20 million for him. Can you get 30? There was talk of a new deal. I'd look to move him on. And fundamentally, you're not playing him. And I will say again, you're not playing it again with Maitland. It's a bit of a weird one because he has played in big games. He does do his thing, but I'd be worried if you've begged me to stay from Wolves and you're not playing me. You're throwing in Cedric. You're still playing. Bellerin's playing well now, but Bellerin's been allowed to have a free run at that side. One thing I'll give Maitland, he's not been given a consistent run in the team. So last game he was terrible, but he was rusty. And I look at it when we play, in them occasional big games, he's the guy who'll get a look in at left back or right back. But if Arteta is naming his best team, he's not saluting Maitland-Niles. He's not playing Maitland-Niles. So again, there could be a reason to sell him. I get keeping him because he's a decent squad player. He can play left back. He can play right back. He's homegrown. There's still an element of improvement there, but again, if I was Maitland-Niles, personally, I would force the issue and say, you know what, you're not playing me. I want to go, people. And again, we fought hard to keep him. Again, nobody put a gun to his head and said, you have to stay. He said Arteta convinced him in some way. So again, there's that. Obviously, Bellerin and his future's kind of intertwined because Bellerin not contracted until 2023. And again, that's someone I wouldn't personally give a new deal personally. So It is what it is, but we need to make a decision and quickly. I guess the first priorities would be 2021 contracts and obviously these, because when you look at them, there's very few questions. There's a lot of question marks over this team. Like, let's just say, Arteta was going to come into this job for humor me, people. Let's just say in an imaginary world, Arteta's going to be a manager one day here, Carlo, Allegri, anyone, just bare different guys are taking over in it in different worlds. How many of these players could you have different managers with different tactics and different ways of seeing things? Would they keep? Like, I only feel the players that genuinely have a chance. I know Aubameyang's moving a bit mad, but I think Aubameyang, any manager, if he came into the Arsenal team, he's not going to force Aubameyang out straight away. So I think Aubameyang, Martinelli, Saka, Gabriel, Tierney. If I haven't said Martinelli, I think that's it. There are some players I could say, for me personally, I could say, oh, Pepe, Maitland-Niles, this guy, that guy. But there's only a few players I could genuinely see, if many different managers came in with different sort of tactics, that they would keep. And the wickedest thing is, I don't really think half of these players are bad players. They're just, when they're collectively together, it's just a shambles, people. For me, anyways, it's just a shambles. So make of that what you will, people. In relation to Kieran Tierney, quickly, in fact, before we get there, I see the chat is popping. You lot are saying a madness. Let me scroll up and show you guys some love. Marcel said, do we even know where we go from here? I want to see moves now. Not sure. Kyle said, who gets the legendary 10 shirt? Psh. If Smith Rowe continues and he shows his thing, then I'll give it Smith Rowe. But I don't really feel there's someone worthy of the 10 shirt right now in this Arsenal team, personally, people. And the gent next door said it perfectly. They must earn it, or they got to come into this club with some serious clout. Like, if we was going to sign Mesut Ozil of Real Madrid tomorrow and the 10 shirt was vacant, I mean, Jack Wilshere training with Bournemouth, that was his shirt. Should we do it now? I'm playing, people. Obviously, I'm having a little joke. Don't get onto me, man. And he is. And I think, and again, this is where I get onto where man keep talking about Arsene Wenger and all of this sort of thing. It's the end of an era. I know there's still the Holdings, there's still the Xhakas, there's still players, but we can't keep waffling on about people that have left the club now, really. We need to deal with what we've got in front of us. Do we need a big name now for the 10 shirt? Have we got big name money? It's like when our mothers ask us, have you got McDonald's money? If you ain't got McDonald's money, you better make some burgers at yard, man. And it's like what Marksman has said. Glad the saga is over. Politics aside, from a footballing standpoint, he wasn't right for us in the last few years. Facts. Ozil is a Rolls Royce. We needed some steel and guile in the midfield, and exactly that. And I'll also add a next 2 pence onto what you've said, my guy. And I don't even think we've known what we've wanted to do in midfield as well. So again, you've got a Rolls Royce and you don't know what you want to do, really. I fully agree, man. Sad talking about money when we gave Willian big money for 3 years, bro. And that's what I mean by, it's not just the big money signings it is on one hand, but it's not just the big money signings that is mismanagement of funds and things like that. It's the Willians, the Mkhitaryan's, the Kolasinac free transfers. It's the costly price, contract extensions. It's even players that are not even at this team now. Look, what we spent 1 million on. I know he's still at the club, but we spent 1 million or so on Runnison. We're now having to find a backup goalie because we couldn't find one, or the one we wanted, which was Brentford's one, where they said no, he's not leaving. We couldn't force it. Where we had a club that was happy to sell. Now, when you buy cheap or you cost, sometimes you can make shrewd additions, but sometimes when you spend cheap, you have to buy twice over. It's like if you buy a pound, a pair of headphones from a pound shop, that's gonna break in a week. And now if you're an idiot and you keep going to that pound shop, how many times, you might spend 10, 20, 30 pounds on 30 different pairs, where if you just went and bought a good set of headphones for what, 15 quid or something, that's going to last you a bit longer. So we're having to rewrite our wrongs. Now we've bought Willian. I personally feel Arteta's favoritism of Willian has cost young players, whether they've deserved it or not, opportunities. And it's only now he's seeing he's a dud. It's the free transfers as well. It's the Lucas Perez's that, again, whether he got a chance or not, it's these sort of signings that you're signing a man, you're not using him, and then you're trying to force him out. It's not making sense. Like, it's not making sense at all, man. Bro, Marksman, you know yourself, football fans are fickle. They just scream for the sake of it, man. They just scream for the sake of it. They scream for young players play and have a bad game. They say they're not good enough and all of this. Football brings out the illogical nature in people. Lorenzo said, who would you prefer, Buendia or Julian Brandt? I'm not going to lie. Based on how Buendia is performing for me in Football Manager, boy, decision to make. I'd say Buendia. Brandt's a baller, though. If you ask me, If you asked me 5, 6 months ago, I would have said Brent, but I'm gonna say Buendia personally. But I'd be happy with both, man. I just feel the only concern I have over Brent is his physicality and if he's willing to throw himself around and things like that. And I mean, I don't like to be the guy who says this because I think it's quite cliche, but Premier League, he knows the league of sorts in it. Like I'm not gonna say Premier League proven, but pardon me, it is what it is, man. Bro, Junior, you said it. There's bare trash at the club. And that's it. Like collectively, we've got a bad squad, and this is why I'm scared because we all knew it's not. It's probably not even going to all be patterned. We're not going to have the collective squad we want come next to see the start of next season because we never got here overnight. We didn't get here in over 1 year with all of these poor players and all of these things. We got here collectively through a series of continuous terrible footballing decisions. So we're not going to get out of this overnight. You look at Liverpool's squad. Remember, again, we're not Liverpool, of course. But you remember when Klopp took over and the nonsense they had some, if you look at their Liverpool squad now, they had to deal with a madness. So again, it's not overnight. But again, I'm not comparing us to Liverpool because you look at Liverpool, from the manager to the people above, there was a collective sort of way to move forward. With us, I know Arteta wants to do it and I have criticisms over it. I don't really, the jury for me is still out on Edu. The less said about the owner of this football club, the better. I know we're bringing in that Richard guy who deals with contracts and stuff, but we're just a mess across many different aspects. It's as simple as that, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. We've just done a lot of nonsense. Ooh, I'm not too sure. The trophies will be kind to Ozil. Ozil versus Cess debate is political. Listen, you've got to respect Cess. Cess was doing this as a teenager. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to side more with Cess. It is what it is. Personally, I like Medley. Not too sure if he's going to have an opportunity here, but who knows, man? Who knows? I know a lot of you are saying keep Guendouzi. I'd love to keep him, but if it is to sell him, go and get a decent change for him. Don't be getting a handshake and some smarties and some stupid money like we normally get, man. Maitland now said, you know what? He needs to buy into it. He needs to, for years, he didn't look like he wanted to be a fullback. I think Maitland just needs to go somewhere he genuinely can have a chance of training week in, day out, and playing every week. Because you look at him, I'd say more so on Nketiah and Joe. Bro, if you're not playing consistently, you're not going to develop, really. Man go through little moments where they're in the team and things, but consistently, it's a myth. Arteta's not picking you, man. So go out and sign yourself. For me, from Maitland Niles, I'm an England international now to a degree. I need to be playing on a regular basis. I'm probably not going to the Euros, but I need to be playing consistently. So, yeah, man. Bro, handshakes and smarties, bro. That's what man are going to get, man. And I agree with that, man. People need to stop romanticizing players. A man said respect Cess. Boy, I think Cesc Fabregas is a twat for the way he left and the way he went on the strike and things like that. But I think you have to you have to respect what a man's done. You don't have to cheerlead, but come on, like this is the thing. Man get emotional and in their feelings about football. Like you can't. I know football brings out the emotions. I've got no time for Cesc Fabregas. I don't think he's an Arsenal legend, but what you can't do is erase what he's done for this club. And I saw a man setting up Henry as a teenager. Fair enough, it weren't Patrick Vieira in his prime. He badded up Patrick Vieira when we got to the Champions League final. I ain't seen Ozil do a thing like that. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I think people forget what Ozil did when he first came in that 24. Go and watch the whole run to that final, people. This is where I like balance. You can say Ozil is not levels and all of these things, but we need balance. For me, I'm siding with Cesc Fabregas. Santi Cazorla was a very underappreciated guy, in my opinion. Now it's cool to rate Santi, but when I made my video, one of my first videos, I was like, Santi Cazorla is very underappreciated at this club. So it is what it is. I don't think Maitland-Niles can be a successful attacking mid, but what do I know? Things can always happen, man. Who knows, man? Who knows? It is what it is in that regards, man. Oh, you say raiding, and I agree with that, but it's a level playing field now. Championship clubs, there's Elise, there was Amari Richards, there's Darena guy we wanted. There's a bag of talent there, but you got to pay the cash. Are Arsenal going to spend 30 million on the Ben Rama and all of these sort of things? It's again, Norwich are saying 40 million. So I agree with all of that in principle, but it's just a madness, man. I would personally look to sign another striker. I've said it before. I personally feel if the squad was in the way that Arteta wanted, like we're not talking about, backup left back, a right back, maybe a centre half, the midfielders and the rest. I genuinely feel Arteta would go for a striker personally. I think he likes what Aubameyang historically comes with, but he's not convinced on him through the middle. Lacazette don't score enough goals and is too hot and cold. Eddie's, a bit raw. I think he would sign someone. I think he genuinely would go for a striker. I would, if everything was cool, personally. We got the net. We spend money, and this is where I say I'm not defending Kroenke. Kroenke needs to go, but this is where I say at Arsenal, there's many levels. You can't just scream Kroenke out, Kroenke out. I mean, you can, and I hope you will to the top of your lungs, and I will too. But it's like if you're just blaming him, fundamentally, I agree with it because the owner of the company, the ethos, the mentality, everything has to trickle down from him. If you want to be excellent, if you want excellence, it trickles down, innit? I don't think that's been the case. But the money that has been available away from Kroenke just being the devil really and truly at this football club, to put it nicely, we've mismanaged several times. The people that have been in charge, we've mismanaged. We've mismanaged a lot. So it is what it is. I think you're dream chasing there a bit. I would love Shabitz. I think that one's a bit probably the most realistic of the three. At least say apparently he's got a 10 or so million release clause that could be done. Hatteran's a baller. We all know how good Grealish is, but 80 million, we're out of it. We're out of it. Absolutely out of it, man. Oh yeah, wow, I would love him. It is what it is. Big up yourself for the super chat. Do you think the appointment of Garlic is in the right direction? Sorry, people. You said, do you think the appointment of Garlic the right step in the direction we should be in, especially when it comes to contracts? Well, we need someone that can deal with contracts. So yeah, we're playing catch up. You can see Balogun. I've actually got something about Balogun as well. Tired of speaking about Balogun, but you've got Kiddo Taylor Hart now, and in Kiddo Taylor Hart, I'm sure you've all seen him. He can play on either wings. He's got long hair. I like him. He's good 1v1. I'm not sitting here to say he's going to have potential and things, but in terms of scholarships, he was one that had, people were saying one to keep their eyes on. And he's actually, now that he's having a better season as a second-year scholar, where he needed to, his contract is running down and it's alerting teams in the championship and elsewhere. Now, I can actually understand why Kiddo Hart Taylor wasn't given a contract last season because he was a first-year scholar. The potential is there. He had injuries. He just didn't hit it off. The talent's there. He just didn't hit it off. This year, played with hunger. Even from pre-season times, he's played with hunger. He's someone we should tie down, and I think he's someone that's going to leave because his contract is up there with Balogun's as well. I'm not here to say people are going to be the next this, that, and the other, but we're very reactive. We've been poor on the best of days in relation to players' contracts, and now we're going to lose Kiddo Taylor Hart, potentially Balogun. In relation to Balogun, personally, I'm tired of speaking about Donny, but again, I can't find the article, but if he wants to leave, just F off and leave. Like, it is what it is. As you lot can see here, it's a three-way battle. If the man wants to sign a deal, sign a deal. If he doesn't, I think there's reasons to commit your future. I think there's reasons to keep it moving. There is a lot of strikers on the books. There is a lot of uncertainty. If you can go somewhere where you can play, or there's a better pathway or plan for you in the short, medium, or long term, who are we to say Balogun shouldn't do that? There's enough. There's not one thing is the truth. There is truth in signing a new deal. Eddie might go, the club might find you a loan, and then, you go on loan, you do your thing, you might come back here, or you might sign a new deal, get more opportunities in the first team, or you leave. You go somewhere where there's a pathway where you can play immediately, or if not, there's an opportunity to do so where they might your new club might say, do you know what, let's loan you out next year, you're going to be part of this. Fair play, Balogun. I get all of that. The one thing I'd say to Balogun is seize your future. Listen to your agent, listen to people around you, but whether it's staying at Arsenal or wherever, do it because you want to do it. And I also say listen to your brain as well. Don't listen to your heart. Whether your heart is telling you to go over there or your heart is telling you to stay at the club you've been here since an adolescent, since a young child. Use your brain. Use all the variables you've been told, but do the maths. There's a lot of strikers on the books. Who's to say there isn't going to be another striker? You've played 70 odd minutes. You've not been involved really and truly. Now, a degree of that might be because you're not committing your future, but do the maths, do the maths. There's only so much training with the first team and so much lip service you can accept. So yeah, personally, I'm tired of speaking about him. He's not Thierry Henry. And again, I think fans need to calm down. I think Balogun's got a lot of potential. I think he can go off and be a real quality player. but there's no reason, for every Balogun, there's duds. I don't want him to be a dud. I want him to fly the flag high for Arsenal's Hayland Academy. But if he leaves, it is what it is. For me, I'm more annoyed that Arsenal aren't going to make no cash from this, people. Again, reactive sort of stuff. If I'm Balogun, I'd probably keep it moving because I've seen my peers depart on loan in the summer. We've messed around with my contract. We shouldn't even get to this point over him, people, realistically. So I understand if he keeps it moving because much like everything connected with this club is very reactive. Extremely reactive. But apparently the race to sign Arsenal striker Balogun is now down to 3 serious contenders, all of whom hope to secure the 19-year-old on a pre-contract agreement this month. Maybe, his advisors are actually leveraging their interest in these offers on the table to get a better deal with Arsenal and get more clarity, people. Apparently as we know, he's turned down offers so far. We've heard there's 15 clubs, but again, it's all about what they're giving him. Off topic as well, Bun Solo 45. Love to hear that he's got his sentence increased as well. Them man there should die in prison. In fact, prison's even too easy. In fact, death is too easy for people that touch children and do raping and all that nonsense. So fire bun them youths there, man. Internal hellfire for them boys there. But staying on with this, apparently we've heard about Arteta. So again, there isn't much more to say here. That it's actually not going or anything. And for me, this is where Arsenal are in a double whammy because again, there's plenty of reasons for both of this man's clients, Eddie and Balogun, to sign new deals. But at the same time, if I was either one, I would say, well, does it make sense? If one of them has to leave, whether it's Eddie and Balogun signing a new deal or Balogun signing a new deal and Eddie going, of course, there's a future of both of them. One of you could be a better striker, one of you could be a squad one. Personally, I said it before. I said we should have been in a situation where with Tyrese, John Jules, Eddie Nketiah, and Folarin Balogun, we give them every chance to progress, but we should be in a situation where we stand to make 60 million off all of them, 20 million a pop, because none of them might not make it here. And I definitely think Tyrese John Jules needs to be given an opportunity. If you're going to F about with Balogun, Tyrese needs an opportunity, but it is what it is. Now, I've just spoken about Taylor Hart, people. Everyone's going to scream they know about him and all of these sort of things. He was one to keep an eye on when he was coming through the academy. He was one I was looking at and thinking, yo, first year scholar, and sometimes it doesn't happen. Josh Martin, I thought the same. He's now gone, it didn't work out. He couldn't buy a game at under 18s level. He's now playing in the championship for Norwich, people. You've got what's his face as well. What's the other Donny's name, man? That was in our under 18 set. You've had Alfie Matthews. People said, they used to describe him as an English Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The talent is there for some reason or not. Didn't see it at Arsenal. He's finding better success now at Crystal Palace. So sometimes you just need to leave for things to happen, people. Elise of Reading, I'm sure at a point he's actually been part of Chelsea's academy. Taylor Hart, like I said, his first year as a scholar, there was injuries and this and that. This year, he's played amazing. And I think maybe the club was saying, okay, cool. If he keeps it up, we'll discuss it at the end of the season, which again is reactive. And again, when you've seen Husfarm may leave, I genuinely feel we've left contracts on the table. Like the priority was securing the futures of Saka and Aubameyang, and especially with these young players, we've just let it slip. And there's been how many times we've been in the balance in these regards, people. So it is what it is. Players are always going to leave. Players always want to keep it moving. Jamal Musiala, how much money has Chelsea going to make? A lot of money out their academy anyways, but how much money would they have made if he stayed? It happens. But for me, we're very reactive. If Balogun was going to leave and we knew we wouldn't get into this situation, let man go in the summer. You could have sold, man. You could have got a sell-on clause. If he makes it and he becomes a player, we have to hold our hands up and say, why did we allow him to slip through the net? If not, we've got a player for the future. So in relation to Balogun, it is what it is. Moving away, and speaking about Willian, apparently he's explained his struggle. So I'm going to get onto that in a second. But what are you guys saying, man? Bro, forget the stats, man. It's an interesting debate, though. I like Ozil. I love Ozil, and success done me a bit dirty with what he done, but it is what it is, man. Bro, Husfar, mate. Again, I don't want to talk too tough, but boy, let's just say he annoyed a lot of people in connection with young players and the dealings around them. Let's just say that. Thank you very much. Good morning, Matt. I hope you're doing well. There's too much convo on this. He ain't messy. This is what I'm saying. Balogun might go on and be the star. I'm not a fan of his Twitter antics. I'm not a fan of seeing this. I like Balogun. I want him to stay. But if you don't want to stay, it is what it is. Keep it moving, man. Shane, DG, can you tell me how far away Charlie Patino is to getting a chance? Patino is going to have a great future in the game, but in relation to telling you that, I don't know because I don't work for Arsenal, man. So yeah, man. What else are you saying? To a degree, yeah. And Balik, you know what? And again, he's a young man. I'm sure he wants to stay, but it is what it is, man. And for me, this is where I'm annoyed the most. It's not Balogun, it's the pattern, Like I said in a previous live stream, it's like we're growing the best mangoes and we're the only ones not benefiting, from the initial mango seed. We're not tasting none of the mangoes, the Josh De Silvas, the Benassias, the Gnabry's. I think we messed up with Benassia and a lot of midfield talents because we've put a hat on on Joe Willock personally. And will it work out? Time will tell. Time will tell. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. There's 300 odd of you in here. How many likes are we on, people? I appreciate you lot coming clutch for me, coming in here. Again, I normally advertise and whatnot. I didn't do too much of that, but you've all found the way. We're on 123 likes. Can we get that to 150 quick time, people? Come on, hit the like button if you haven't. Come on, man. And he's gonna lack physicality at that age, but you can, I'm not stressed about physicality because I think you can get that. You can do little gym stuff and little things to get stronger. Sometimes it's born with you, like Saka. Physicality, tactically, you can get there. There are things that I'm not stressed about. Someone at that age, people, really, truly. Oh, and this is the thing, man, don't watch young players, marksman. The thing with Balogun, with the way the fan base is, if he comes on and has a little dry spell, the fans will crucify him. And that's the things. It's like with Reece Nelson. Man, we're not watching him in Germany consistently. They were just gassing and wanking over his 30-second goals, where them very games, sometimes he didn't score and he had a great game. Sometimes he scored and he was iffy. He was very ups and downs. Lo and behold, they call man the Messiah. He gets a chance in the Arsenal shirt. And away from constructive criticism and healthy question marks, they're kind of shocked, sort of thing. And it's everyone wants to be the guy who said they knew about this guy. Everybody's able to draw conclusions based on 30-second clips. You know me, I've got a passion for young players, so it kind of jars me. It is what it is, man. I just want to see proactiveness, because if man can't make it at this team, let's make money off Donnies. It's as simple as that. Archie has said AFC Bell saying our signing of an AM this window is more likely to be a short-term deal than bigger signings in the summer. And yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure many people don't have their what's the right word, expectations high. I expect someone on loan. I would rather expect, Edu, and because Edu himself, while he's sporting director, he said, I'm gonna do a heavy part of the scout and everything's gonna go through me. Can you find a lesser profile guy that could be signed for a similar fee to the loan fee we'd potentially have to pay to a club that has potential? Can you find that 20-year-old in the second division in Germany, or out the wilderness in Brazil like Martinelli that can do a job? That's all I care about. And again, if we can't go toe to toe with teams for this this is what we need to do, man. Really and truly. Let's see what Eddie can do with more creative players around him before we sell him. People are hating on the kid so much that I'm rooting for him. Well, I can't speak for anyone. I'm rooting on Eddie Nketiah. He comes from the Hayland Academy. Who doesn't want it? I think I'm a bit different, because obviously you want strikers that do the job. But I would be happy if, let's just say Balogun goes on to be the Aubameyang, the new Aubameyang, in that he's scoring 20 league goals for us. He's a striker that can score 20 league goals. And you've got an Eddie who might not be of that, but you can utilize him in the squad here and there. I don't mind that. Not everyone is going to be starting quality consistently. You need some man that can plug gaps and stuff. I don't want a Welbeck, but if we can grab a Welbeck out of our academy, why not, sort of thing? You need a squad of players. If not, can we get Peas? Eddie's still a young man, and he's in a good position. Personally, I don't think Eddie's developed enough. Physically, I don't think he's developed enough. I just think away from that, I think he's very reactive. I don't think he's got enough to his game right now to help us. And he's still young as a striker. Probably needs to show a bit more to have it here, man. Archie, I'm not too sure if that's true in relation to his wage demands. It could be wage demands. It could be what his agent wants. It could be first team opportunities. It could be a mixture of everything. So who knows, man? Who truly knows? We'll have to see, man. I don't know about that. Bentner was very shit. Like, I don't know why our Arsenal's fan base are in love with Bentner and this Lord stuff. Bentner was shit. Like, pardon my language. Like, he's one of the players I've not got time for. He's not of the level of Gallas, but he was dead. Like, come on, man. I'd rather Willian. I'm not gonna cap, man. I'm not gonna cap. Hey, big up my guy. Big up my guy. Them academy ballers. They are. Big up yourself, Omari. I appreciate you. But yeah, let's get on to Willian, people. The man that was just spoken about. Willian admits to being far away from his best at Arsenal. Blood clot. What was your best, GG? What was your best? It's a bit of a Mazzolini. Let's see what going for this guy, man. You know, we all know he's been playing poor, but apparently he said, well, it's never easy changing clubs, especially after being somewhere for so long. I was at Chelsea for 7 years before coming to Arsenal. Then you have a new club, new people, and a new philosophy. Yeah, it's a new club, new philosophy, and new teammates. But I mean, come on, bro. Football is still 22 players chasing the ball around. When you're getting a football, I don't understand. You know, it's irrelevant when you're not crossing, you're not taking on a man. You're not able to play 1-2s. You're hiding. Your set pieces aren't there. You know, new team or not, these are basics. Like these are absolute basics. Sandro, I don't know what kind of bench you're running, but allow it, fam. They're both dead. They're both dead. They're both dead. Like, come on, they're shit, man. Come on, like keep it. Stop that, man. You lot stop gassing up Bentner, man. You lot are doing too much. But you know, Willian, that excuse for me only goes too far because all I was hearing is Premier League proven, hitting the ground running, leader, all of these sort of things. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, in the same way before, Willian, we weren't really playing in an attacking sense, and all our attacking players were marginalized. I have to cut Willian that same not excuse, but that same luxury in that we are going to struggle. But I think you're playing poor because you're playing poor. You know, again, statistically, there are some statistics that suggest the way Arteta is demanding of you, and especially defensive, is not getting the best out of you, but you are playing poor. And again, if you played well, if Willian played well, man are going to say, oh, what a shrewd piece of business from Arsenal. It's a madness and things like that. But with every poor game, you know, you gave him a 3-year deal. You gave him hella peas. He's even got an option of a 4th. Why? You know, this is why we're hearing talks about getting cozy with agents and things like that. Bro, what 50 goals in across his whole career? Mad thing, bro. Bentner is shit, man. Like, come on, man. All of them are crap, man. There's just some man are just all crap. But anyways, he said he said things are different. Things are different, so I'm still adapting, but I feel good. I've been learning a lot, a new philosophy. So again, I don't understand. If you're still learning and you're not comfortable, why have you been given so many opportunities? I'd take that one there with Arteta. He said, everyone is great here. I know I can improve a lot. And of course, my performances on the pitch can be a lot better. So if you know this, why he improved the thing yet? The first game was great for me against Fulham. I felt I had a good performance and gave 2 assists. Then I don't know. Well, you've got to do some soul searching, bro. And he said, I'm always trying to do my best. Sometimes things don't go the way you want. You have to say it's a part of football and a part of life, which is true, but it's been going the way you want. You know, you've been given the luxury of staying in London, something you wanted to stay. Chelsea were only trying to give you a 2-year deal. You got a 3. On one hand, for me, that should give you every reason to excel because you've now got clarity, you know, to just do what you want. But on the other hand, it screams comfortability. And when I'm not even going to go into it. How many poor signings are there at Arsenal? Whether they were signed for big money, free transfers, or even the loan players we've even brought in on loan people. You know, what did we get really and truly? Have we got whatever loan fee we've paid for Ceballos? Have we got value for money? It's crazy, man. Bro, I don't know what day, bro. That must have been one day out of his whole 15 years or so over his career. I don't know what day that is, but someone tell me when he's been prolific. His best season's probably 10 league goals, man. So yeah, Willian, you know you need to fix up. And he said, right now I know I'm far away from being my best, but I'm determined to work hard and change this. So let's see what you're on. Let's see what you're on, man. He's spoken about the faith in the manager. Must be nice. Of course, we could talk about lots of things together, and I know I have his support. That's great for me, and to have the support of the club, so what I can do is always work hard, give my best in training to try to improve myself. This is the only way to get back to good performances. And Arteta spoke on how well he trains. I get it. You need to train well to play well, but on some occasion, I need to see, you know, the training well and doing things in training only matters so much. You need to show it to me on the football field, people. Away from that, though, and more, it could be, this is more for my preview tomorrow, but it's here. I might as well speak about it. David Ornstein reported a few days ago, and I didn't speak about it. Apparently, Kieran Tierney's injury is not thought to be serious, and the left back could be available for our next game against Newcastle. Hopefully, Tierney and Martinelli are able to play. If not, it is what it is. As you lot know, he missed the 0-0 draw as a precaution. Apparently, he's having a calf scan, so maybe we've overplayed him. But apparently, the Athletic understands he has not suffered a muscle tear and may be fit for Newcastle's visit. Maybe it's best we just leave him out. Apparently, he pulled out a few hours before the game. Whether Maitland-Niles gets another opportunity, who knows? And in true Arsenal fashion, it would be the minute my man goes out on loan, where he, at best, he's just a body in that position. We've messed up. And it'll be keen to see. Personally, I want us to learn our mistake. I want us to go back with Saka there. Personally, put Saka left wing back against Newcastle. Put Pepe on or do something at right wing. I'd rather, Pepe ain't taking his chances. I don't want to see Willian. I wouldn't mind Pepe, but I wouldn't mind Nelson. For those of you who care, after the game in relation to Tierney, he said Kieran's progression in the last few months has been incredible, and now is the time for another player to step in. He's going to have an MRI scan tomorrow, and we'll see how it is. We don't know how long he'll be out for. We'll probably know more tomorrow, Friday, which was yesterday, after testing him and how long he's going to be out for. It was a big disappointment to lose him, and hopefully we'll have him back with us shortly. So that's that in that regards, people. Firmly make sure you're hitting the like button. Bro, Willian's gone, man. Willian's gone. Bro, I didn't expect Willian to be that bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I thought at worst comes to worst, he's gonna, be able to take on a man. His cross is gonna be under hit, over hit, poor decision making. But it's like, and I didn't, it's like, how can you have less expectations of a man, and then he somehow managed to mess it up even more? It's crazy, man. I don't want to hear no excuse. Bro, we need to stop buying players from Chelsea. If it's not Chelsea's academy players that have been released, stop getting these Chelsea players, Stop buying past it, man. Willian, David Luiz, Czech. And I don't even think Czech was that bad. Shout out to Czech, because I don't even like rubbing out Czech. But again, it is what it is. What Frimpong are you talking about? You talking about the one I do videos with? Yeah. If you're talking about the one that played for Arsenal, yeah, I don't mind him. Got a bit excited, started doing music vids with his cousins and that, and then it effed up. And their restaurant, man. Bro, man threw a Bamian into the Deadwoods thing. Calm down, man. Tuesday, Bamian's not doing his doing things, but it is what it is. B-Face has said, you guys are saying crap about Ceballos. He's far better than El Nene and Xhaka. How many times does he lose the ball? He also creates more chances than Xhaka. To be fair with you, against West Bromwich Albion, he was there for interceptions, and they're all poor. They're all not good enough for Arsenal right now. Ceballos isn't showing me the Real Madrid baller. Xhaka is misunderstood, but he isn't good enough. And El Nene isn't good enough either. But this is what annoys me about football fans. You can compare. But just because Ceballos might be better than Xhaka or Xhaka might be better than him, is that a reason for them to be in the team? They're not good enough. Just call a spade a spade. Don't fanboy the team, the people, them. Ceballos gives the ball away quite a lot as well, to be fair. And, chances, I don't know, because on one hand, I agree with you. But on the other hand, you look statistically of how our play runs. A lot of it runs through Xhaka. I just think fundamentally the variables is that all three of these men are not good enough or consistent enough to be in the lineup as much as they have. And it kind of ties into what I say in that, Thomas Partey is not there. We're kind of doomed, to put it nicely. And even if everybody's fit, there's not a centre midfielder, on the caliber of playing with Partey. All three need to keep it moving and are all squad players at best. Ceballos, haven't seen even the last game. First half, saw the Real Madrid midfielder we got on loan. Second half, done a madness. Bro, Gallas, I hate Gallas. Hate is a big word. I hate Gallas. I think Gallas disgraced the Arsenal shirt, the number 10 shirt, the way he acted at Birmingham. I hate Gallas. I hate Gallas. I hate the fact that people move like he's an Arsenal legend and he's always involved in, when the media teams are doing the Arsenal talks and things. Hate Gallas, man. Absolutely hate Gallas. Oh, they're all dead. Like, they've all been playing dead. Bro, he's not even a poor man Santi, bro. I don't know what Ceballos is on. He shows me little patches where I think, there's something there. And then I see, I can see why you're not playing for Madrid. Fundamentally, like Sandro said, the Ceballos is meaty. Since Ceballos has been here, we haven't seen consistent flashes of brilliance. I haven't seen a man consistently play to the level of the way he chats. He said, I want to play for Real Madrid. I want to do this for Spain. I want to do that. I need to see consistency. I don't need to see every turn of the year. Like last year, when the year turns, you go through some good games or you start off well and then you falter. Naturally, obviously, players go up and down, but I'm not seeing enough. I was gassed when we got Ceballos. I thought we was punching. I thought he was going to play to the level where we're looking at Real Madrid like, who sanctioned this one? Who sanctioned him going? And it is what it is in that regards, man. It is what it is. That's what I'm saying. Like he said, Danny is probably, it's not even probably Danny. Out of all three of them, Danny's got the best about him with a football. But you're not doing it consistently, so it's dead. Like it's all dead. It don't matter. Like it doesn't matter. I don't care how many dribbles you can do in the game, how much kick-ups you can do if you're not 30 in the games. It's crazy. You know, it is what it is, man. You know, I agree with you. What you said, big up DG. I'm not being reactionary, but my thoughts in the summer was to sell Oba and reinvest the money in two different kinds of upcoming strikers. It all depends on the price. I think you're probably punching a bit. You know, whatever you know, what how much was we going to get for a Aubameyang? Probably not much. And it, unless you're talking about these young upcoming strikers that aren't really known, we're going to have to probably pay top dollar. But I hear that if that's what you're saying, that's calm. You know that, and that's what I mean. Sabas has shown patches. You know, El Nene was 30 in the Community Shield. Ozil's been 30 in an FA Cup final. You know, Bear Man have done it in moments, but over a 38 game period or so, mad thing, innit? Says it all, really. Big up everybody locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Master Yoda said thoughts on M Honcho's face reveal. I think the guy that did it, you know, your boy's getting hotted up for being a nonce, and your revealing face. I think it's an invasion of the man's privacy. Personally, it is what it is, though. He's just gonna have to deal with it, and people will get over it, man. Like, bit irrelevant, but there you have it, man. It's a bit weird. It's moist, but it is what it is, man. Bro, I think we need another, I'll say, piano pusher. That's why I wouldn't mind Basuma, but I also think we need another creative man, sort of thing. What are you talking about? You've said you aren't sure about Leno. I've said Leno's a good keeper. I've previously said, and I stand by it. If the team was fixed up in the way that I believe it should be, I'm looking at Leno. I think Leno's a good shot stopper, but I think his shot stopping is overstated. If we had the defenders and the team the other way we want it, I think we should look at Leno. I didn't say Sabas isn't good. I said Sabas has got talent. You haven't done it consistently. Please open your ears and listen. Don't just hear what you want. And for anyone that does YouTube, this is something for my deluded thoughts that frustrates me. People just hear what they want. We all know Sabas is a baller. I don't care how good you are. I've seen Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil's got all the talent in the world. You're not doing it consistently, or you're not doing it at this time. It's irrelevant. I don't care how good you are. And you've also said, but you want Pepe to play. We've spoken about three different factors. I am ready to wash my hands with Pepe first and foremost. But if you're asking me, would I rather the frustrations of Pepe than what I'm hearing with Willian, what I'm seeing with Willian? I stand by that. Who are you talking about? And he has had chances. He hasn't done his thing. This season, he hasn't been given consistent chances. And when he has been given minimums, he hasn't taken his advantage. So while I thank you for the super chat, please fucking listen to what is being said, my guy. Please don't listen with rose tints. Clean your ears. You know, you've chopped up three separate things. You're gonna have to be smarter than that to get me, my guy, because I know exactly what I'm talking about. What are you talking about, my guy? Leno is a good keeper, but I stand by that. You know, if the team was everywhere it is, I'd be looking at Leno a bit funny. You know, am I 100% convinced with his aerial collection of crosses? No. I think he's a good shot stopper, and the last few games he saved us, but equally sometimes he makes good saves and then palms it into people. Sometimes he can be a bit eccentric. There's deeper problems than Leno. I think if you fixed up the team, you could get away with Leno. But if we did fix up the team and we're chasing excellence, I'm looking at probably upgrading on Leno unless Leno improves. So please learn to listen. I appreciate the super chat, you know, but listen. That's all that frustrates me, you know, when people don't listen. And like you said, don't send super chats to question man like that. Oh, try to do this high press thing, man. Let people get their super chats and get the bread, DG. But, I appreciate anyone that departs with their hard-earned money. Personally, if I'm Gigi Wijnaldum, having played in Holland, having played in Newcastle, having won everything at Liverpool, I'm not leaving to go to Arsenal. I'm seeing Barcelona links. I'd rather go try that. But, you know, I would be all up for Wijnaldum. But is what it is. He's one of them. He's an upgrade on what we have. So why not take Buendia? Why not? Oh, chips thing went crazy, but like, who gives a crap about Chipmunk and Stormzy? Really and truly is tired, man. I'll be, you know, Chip is talking reckless, and he's not about half of that stuff. Stormzy's gonna air him, and Stormzy had hella energy for Wiley. Fundamentally, this is all rap beef, you know. Chipmunk's probably gonna just keep bringing out other ones, or he's probably got an album to drop. Ain't no one give a crap about them, man. Big up Stormzy and big up Chipmunk, though, but just no one gives a crap, bro. Simple as that, man. Don't block. Who did you block, my guy? I have blocked him. Don't block. No, if they're not moving mad, don't block them. What's UI said? You've always stated. You've always clearly stated on what your opinions on. Sorry, brain fart. I'm moving like I'm dyslexic. You always clearly stated on what your opinions on the matter consistently. Appreciate. DG waiting outside for my man. Nah, it's calm, bro. It's just listen. By all means, disagree with man, debate man. I'm not no gospel. I like to speak, but there's two things that annoy me. It's people that don't listen and hear what they want to hear, and it's people that have told me what I've said. Don't tell me what I've said because I know what I've said. If I've said something and it's worse, pull me up on it. You know, I once thought based on in Spain, Kepa was better than Leno. Kepa for a second looked better than Leno in the Prem. Then he revealed himself as a fraud. My opinion's changed. Fuck Kepa, Leno's the guy. Either way, you know, if it's a thing like that, by all means, don't tell me what I've said. Definitely don't grab 3 separate subjects and try and look at it. And this is what annoys me about fans, you know. You know, just because you don't like, you could think Willian's not good enough, but you could say, oh, he's better than Pepe, or oh, I don't like Pepe, but he's better than Willian. You know, what sort of, how does that help anything? You know, the point scoring against the players is not helping anybody. Like, it's pointless. But each to their own, man. I don't think they've sold him yet. If you're dyslexic, apologies, my guy, man. Bro, I'm passionate, definitely not emotional because I don't care. I definitely am relaxed, my guy. You see any sweat, big up yourself, but it is what it is, man. You know, it's just when people talk nonsense, you have to be put straight. You know, do not tell me what I've said. I can relax or be as emotional as I want. It is my channel. So yeah, man. It is what it is. We haven't even sold him, my guy, to bring that one back. We ain't even sold him, so that says it there. It is what it is, bro. If you're dyslexic, apologies, but you're gonna have to eat that one, innit? What bid do we need to get for Pepe in the summer to accept it and sell him, bro? Everything's a L, innit? I'll take 20 million the way he's playing right now, but everything's a L, man. Everything's a L. So we'll have to see, man. This is it, man. Let's be real. And this is it. Fans, you know, fans don't know where their expectations are. Let's be real as fans. We are stuck at the crossroads. The real ones understand the worth of the club, but also need to understand the reality. Facts, my guy, man. Relax. Trust me, man. What else are you guys saying? What else are you guys saying? I'm not, but he's at Manchester City in mind, my guy. I need a striker in Football Manager. I'm going mad in Football Manager, man. Like what? Lacazette's gone to Juventus at the end of the season. Aubameyang, I've tried to move him. I'm trying to get rid of Pepe. I bought Edouard for 21 million. I don't mind selling him. Buendia's doing a madness for me in that game as well. So yeah, man. And this is it, bro. Super chats ain't a pass to talk crud. Fact. Should we move Reece Nelson on? I'm not gonna lie. You get a certain offer, I'd entertain it, but I think it's a loan thing. I would give him minutes, but I think it's a loan thing. I would love to see that, but again, that's a summer thing, surely. That would be a summer thing, surely. Trying to see a Miss Deluded soon. What's all this? What have you said? Daniel Marlon back. Wouldn't mind bringing back Daniel Marlon, but maybe that ship has passed. Who knows? I like to keep the flow going in the chats personally. Cam, keep doing your thing. Moderators, keep being on job. I appreciate all of you guys, man. Bro, Wayne, trust me, bro. Man are doing too much. Big up E.A, whatever you said. Subscribe to your channel after the Hugh Wizzy collab, and I've watched you every day since. I love your content. You speak openly and honest. I appreciate that, my guy. I appreciate your dedication to my content. I appreciate the fact that you've subscribed. Shout out to Hugh as usual for, you know, plugging me and all of those things. So yeah, man, big up yourself and anyone else that has come via those means or however you found out about Deluded. Shout out to you lot. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. What else are you guys saying? Bro, how long is a piece of string, fam? I think he's better than Davino. He's already showed more, but at the same time, I can't really. If you don't think he is, it's a mad thing, man. It's an absolute madness. Memphis has said, with the wage bill freeing up, knowing us, man, spend money, give me 3 positions. That is a must. For me, left back, Basuma, and then Konku. For me personally, I think striker and keeper would be places I'm looking at long term. Like if everything was fixed up, I'd be looking at that striker, because I previously said I don't think Arteta is convinced with any of our three strikers wholeheartedly, if that's a word that will make sense. Goalie, that's just me personally. Priorities midfield. I think you need two midfielders, and I don't think we're going to get two midfielders, but I think you need two eights, you know, or you need a 6 and an 8 minimum. You know, I think you need that. You know, you need someone that can that can do what Partey was primarily brought here to do, breaking down play, and can offer something going forward. Obviously, to play with Partey, or if Partey gets injured, as we've seen, we're back to square one. It'd have been nice if Torreira could have stayed, you know, stopped all the stuff that was around him, and he could have been that. Pardon me. So I'd say an 8 and a 6. Personally, I think we need better options in there. So I'd say midfield is the priority for me personally. Right back, because again, I don't really see any clarity over the right back position. Bellerin's in form now, but Bellerin always goes through good moments of form. I don't see it consistently. Maitland-Niles, again, this is, for me, it was his last season really that I'm going to give you a chance to lock that down. Cedric, again, every one game I'm convinced, the next game I'm looking a bit iffy. So there's 3 people competing for one position. I'm not convinced with either. Maybe backup left back could be a position, because on one hand, you know, you've got Maitland who could be thrown there, Saka can do a job there, and of course Tierney's number one. But could it be something in that you could get someone that is clearly backup to Tierney, but when they come in, it's not a drop off in quality? Because like you've seen, our first initial issue is, you know, signing some quality players and having a quality first choice 11. But as you can see already, we're having problems in terms of depth. When some players are not involved, there's going to be a drop off in quality. But I think there's too much on the best of days when Saka, Smith Rowe, Lacazette, who's been in form, when these guys are not on it, we struggle. But I think when you take several players out of this team, like you saw with Tierney the other day, there's too far of a drop off. Now, maybe on another day, you know, Saka plays there, Martinelli plays on the left wing. We don't talk about it, but I think there's a left, you know, both fullback areas. Arteta's been linked with a centre half, and really and truly, you know, we probably will or should bring in a centre half, in my opinion, based on that. So I'd say, yeah, man, I'd say midfield is the priority for me. 2 midfielders, I can't get past it, and then I've just said everything else. Long term, I'm looking at a striker. I've got my eyes and ears open to a goalie personally. I think it's a variety of reasons with Pepe. I don't think the team played to his strengths. I don't think he has that fullback that makes that overlap and run like Bellerin. I don't think he's been given a consistent run in the team. But on the same topic with Pepe, incredibly frustrated with his decision making. Has improved defensively. Ironically, that's one of the good things he did against when he came off the bench last game. But the decision making, the mentality isn't quite there. Against Newcastle, it was a bit different. But typically, he accepts his fate. He doesn't look to force the issue. You know, there's many reasons, whether it's the manager, you know, he hasn't been given consistent chances like Willian. There's many luxuries that I can afford Pepe that haven't been through his problem, but there's so many questions that he hasn't answered. And, you know, I don't think we play to Pepe's strengths, but I think Pepe's IQ's got to improve. And I'm at the point, like, I'm accepting it for what it is. I'm not expecting Pepe to improve. I'm not expecting Pepe to improve. I'm not expecting Lacazette to keep scoring. I'm not expecting Aubameyang to get back to goal scoring ways. I am not expecting miracles for any of these midfielders. The only people I genuinely believe in this, I'll support all the team, but the only guys I have genuine expectations of is Saka, Martinelli, because they've set themselves high standards and I know they've got it. Gabriel and Partey, because I know they're good. Bit of me says Aubameyang and Leno, because I think Leno's a decent keeper. They're the only ones that have an ounce of expectation. But I always say expectation and Arsenal in the same sentence can be very dangerous. Very dangerous, people. Extremely dangerous even. So it's something we need to be wary of. What has Robin said? Do you expect us to get any players in January? Hopefully, man. I really hope so, man. We need a creative man. I would love an 8.5, but we'll have to see, man. I would love Lamperty, King Gabs, but mad thing, man. Well, you said super chats ain't a pass for rubbish, but no one pays to get slagged off. I didn't slag a man off. I just said, do not get on to me for things I didn't say. Listen. That's not the first time I've seen that individual say that. So yeah, we can debate, we can encourage things. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, my guy. I'm here to talk about what I want to talk about. So with all respect, you know, I'm never going to say no to super chats, but I ain't no hooker in the strip club. Like, I'm not twerking for a £5 or £2 like my man sent, and I'm appreciative of any denomination, but it doesn't mean I'm going to accept everything, you know. I can, if people talk to me a certain way, if they antagonize me, I can react. Again, I wasn't rude to Donny, you know. I've seen the same thing said and again, so I've reacted. And once again, by all means debate me, listen to what I've said. But I do agree with you, Master Yoshi. You're spitting a lot of knowledge. Again, long term, I'm still gonna benefit because I'm gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep getting better. For every person that says I don't like DG anymore, there's other people. This is a big world, and with the internet, so I'm never gonna, whoever wants to keep it moving, or anyone that thinks they've been spoken to a problem sort of way, I apologize. But on the other hand, if you want to stay in your feelings, I don't care. It's as simple as that. Please, Master Yoshi, again, you keep making these comments as well. We get it, man. We get it. You're a guy of knowledge. We understand. Do you rate Marie and Gabrielle as a partnership? I've never seen it, so I don't know. I don't know. But I like what Marie has shown me so far. I'm a big fan of Gabrielle. I think he's a bit raw in many aspects, but at the same time, I like him. In regards to trying both of them, I know many people will say, oh, they're left-footed, they're left-footed, they're left-footed, and I get that. But nobody says anything when it's two right-footers. So I would like to see that. Maybe at this time in the season, again, you have to try it sometime, but I'm not too sure when we'll have the opportunity to test that partnership. Just to test that partnership. So I'm not too sure personally, but we'll have to see. Bro, I would love Lamperty, but if I'm Brighton, I'm not letting him go we can start a conversation for 25 million. I'm trying to get 30, 40. Are we going to have that with the English premium to dedicate towards the right back, in which I think that is an area of concern, but the club might look at it as we've got 3 people competing for that. Do we need to outstretch our resources to do such? I'm not too sure. I hear a lot of people saying that, but the club are saying they're bringing in the centre half. That's the only reason I'm saying it. And to be fair with you, if I'm real with you, I only really believe in Gabriel, and that's not a criticism of the other guys, people. Personally, I like what Gabriel is doing. I still think he's raw. Like you saw against Aston Villa, he's got a lot of lessons to learn. I like the calmness Marie comes with. I can only speak for myself. I like what I see for Marie. I think he's a good addition to the squad. I think, for me, Gabriel, Saliba, and Marie would have been my central 3 centre halves because they were the new ones coming in at a point. But I don't know Marie's true level. I don't know his true level. I've seen a good couple of games. I don't know his true level. I see Man City where I think he got injured, but exposed him for pace. I see him give away a penalty against Chelsea, which the only time he put a foot wrong. I think he's a good centre half, and I like him. I think he can be a good addition to the squad, but I don't know his true level. And I guess for me, anyways, time will tell. I weren't watching him when he was playing in Brazil or in his homeland in Spain and things like that. I like Holding, but Holding does concern. With every good thing Holding does, he concerns you. David Luiz, he goes through good periods. And if I'm real, all 2 of those 3, with Marie, I'll cut him a luxury. But they go through good moments of form. I don't know their true level. I like Saliba. I hope Saliba comes back with more confidence, of course, and better to do his task. But again, is he going to be immediate starting quality? Who knows? So I do get the logic if we was to bring in a centre-half, people. I wouldn't even keep David Luiz next year. So by default, 1 spot has opened up. If that's going to be Mavropanos or these sort of guys, Ballard, Mavropanos, McGuinness, Medley, all of these guys, who remains to be seen. And personally, I think it won't be. But yeah, man, we can always improve. And, time will tell, until the end of the season, I'm not really sure, man. You said you don't have faith in Tierney. I got faith in Tierney. Apologies if I missed Tierney out. I meant to say Tierney. He's future captain. Tierney's one of the only players. Tierney's one of the players that I've got a lot of time for, man. As you can see, of course I rate Tierney, and he's one of the. There's only certain players I have expectations on, and Tierney's one of them. If Tierney, the other guys, I'll criticize them and praise them fairly, but Bellerin playing poorly don't surprise me. Pepe don't surprise me. Xhaka don't surprise me. Luiz don't surprise me. It's bare, man. If they play bad, it's apart from praising and critiquing, it's like, I'm not scared. If Tierney plays badly, I'm gonna praise and critique, but I have a bit more expectation on him because I know he's got high standards. And Saka the same, and Martinelli. Historically, Aubameyang, but for me, Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Thomas Partey, I don't have that much expectations for the other guys, really. I take them for what they are, but they've not shown me anything else. Oh, Dialer Square, you're right. Enough crybabies, fam. Enough crybabies, It's they're probably the same guys who were crying when they found out David Luiz and Sabas had a fight at training, Imagine what would happen if you found out everything that happens on the training ground. It's crazy. I like Ryan Christie. I don't think he's the answer like that. He could do his thing, though. Big up yourself, Real Ball. Haven't forgot about you when my schedule does permit. Therefore, coming onto your show. People, give him a little... Go look out for his stuff, man. You know, I've seen a lot of what they do. They do some good chats, so go and check him out. Would love to have you on my show as well, man. Fair play. I don't think Holding is trash. I'm not too sure if he's ever going to be first choice quality. I don't think Holding is trash. I do think he reads the game well, but he does some naive stuff, man. So we'll have to see, man. And said, to be fair with you, Henry, you probably back some more goals, probably back goals in this team, really and truly. I'm not too sure for getting out Henry, sorry, out of retirement, but it is what it is, man. I mean, he said Arteta said he wants to keep hold of Mustafi to the end of the season. While I would like Mustafi to depart, I understand it in it just as some cover. Again, if an offer comes, I think we sell, but I understand it. I don't condone it. I understand it. Thoughts on Holding's new contract? It's a bit of tying down resale value, a bit of the fact of we're probably going to see 3 centre halves minimum leave in the summer. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards. But I think it's well deserved, really and truly, and it's not that deep. It's a good squad option. It's the English premium. It is what it is, really and truly. It's hardly going to break our bank, so it remains what it is. So yeah, man. Brad has said, sorry, DG, didn't get the notification. No worries, Brad, man. I don't know why it's doing you lot dirty, but it is what it is. Nice to see you made it. But I do think Holding is slowly becoming crucial to the back line, and spots are earned. I think he's earning his spot right now. So he's doing his thing. Hit the like button, people. Couple more questions. Mandira said, based on Pepe's performances defensively, do you think we could use Pepe as an inverted fullback? No, it's a mad thing, my guy. I hear what you're saying, but that's a mad thing. No. Dead. I don't. Deluded, do you think Emil Smith-Rowe was mismanaged against Crystal Palace because he was always so deep? No, I think they marked him out the game. And naturally, whether you're a striker, winger, creative mid, if you're marked out the game, what happens? You drop deep. If you can't get onto the ball, you're going to drop deep. So I think that's the case. So yeah. Bro, people can't. What as you said, Holding gets criticized a lot. A couple man can't criticize their faves in Aubameyang, Pepe, Nelson, etc. But love to scapegoat Xhaka, Holding, Bellerin. These three have played better than any of the other three. Damning but true. To be fair with you, don't think Pepe's got any favorites. Don't think Aubameyang's got any favorites. And that's the thing, you know. It's always, he played bad, but what about him? He played bad, but what about him? Why can't we just praise and critique everyone fairly? But I've given up on that. You know, fans don't do that. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is in that regards, man. My Bile Cup, this name always kills me. Big up yourself for always tuning in. You've said, now that Mesut's gone, our club has one creative player in Smith-Rowe. Do we need a new creative player immediately, or do we have another creative player to step up? Personally, I think you need one immediately. Personally. Our Lampity, off the top of my head. Buendia, based on us being linked with him. Basuma, based on us being linked with him. Neuhaus of Gladbach, but he looks to be going to Bayern Munich. So it is what it is in that regard. Last question. Let's get one more in. Did we psychologically damage Maitland-Niles by freezing him out after killing ourselves to keep him? I don't think so. He's got to be able to deal with that, but he's probably looking at it like, what the hell is going on sort of thing. So it is what it is in that regards, man. It firmly is what it is in that regards. Get the likes up, people. Can we get that to 300? I'm going to keep it moving. We've been here for an hour and 22 minutes, people. So I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, maybe around the same time, to preview the Arsenal versus Newcastle game. But I think I've been on there long enough. I actually just want another cup of green tea. So I'm going to go do that, people. On that note, people, DG, I'm out. I appreciate you guys being locked in each and every time. Please make sure you hit the like button. Check out the other content. I'll clip up a couple of this live stream, obviously, for you guys, because I know you lot have been dropping in. Like Brad Davis said, you know, he got shagged. There was no notification. So, you know, I'll look after you lot. But in the meantime, scroll all the way back. Check out the other content. Take care of yourselves as well. I want to see you lot all back here for the next show. I'm out of here, people. Deluded.